Today on Running to Him.
Christians have the spirit and mind of God, but have replaced them in our daily lives with man's wisdom. Well, if you're joining us and going through the Pauline letters, today's reading is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and we'll concentrate on verses 11 through 13. Now, 1 Corinthians 2, verses 11 through 13 says this, "For who among men knows the thoughts of a man, except the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, the thoughts of God no one knows except the Spirit of God. Now, we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, so that we may know the things freely given to us by God, which things we also speak, not in words taught by human wisdom, but in those taught by the Spirit, combining spiritual thoughts with spiritual words." Now, I'm a little frustrated at our Christian leaders for their lack of preaching God's wisdom, having replaced it much with man's. We're being taught to respond in the opposite way that the opposition, any opposition from any side, responds. The discussion over the replacement of Ruth Bader Ginsberg on the Supreme Court is a prime example of this. Many Republicans want to have President Trump announce a replacement and then push it through the Senate before the election. The Democrats are crying foul because President Obama's choice was ignored under basically the same circumstances. Both parties are seeking that which benefits them. This is man's wisdom. God's wisdom does not display itself in this way. Yet, Christian leaders all over, those who claim a relationship with Christ, use the same arguments as the Democrats and Republican parties are using. They are not talking about the problem and then taking it to God and asking for wisdom. They have shown that type of thinking to just be in the wind. They are not thinking of what will unite the country and how they can use the current confusion and anger to point people to Christ's peace. They are thinking politically, not with the mind of God. Now, many of you know my position on the significant political and moral issues of the day. I do not hold them as a secret. But my job is to encourage those who know Christ to seek holiness and righteousness in their own lives and to reach out to those who don't know Christ in any way, which will bring them to a relationship with Him. I want a particular candidate to win, not because he is righteous, but because I believe that he brings us the best chance to win people to Christ. Each day, each hour, we should be praying that God is glorified as He protects the United States against the evil that is currently in our midst. Currently, we have a slew of politicians who are self-centered, self-righteous, self-seeking, people whose only goal is that self-aggrandizement and that permanent paycheck after 6 years of government work. We have fallen significantly from the days of asking God's guidance. Even if you don't agree with much of the theology of the Founding Fathers, they still fought for God's righteousness in our government. Today, we have one party which seeks to minimize or completely eradicate God, and the other party who seeks to pander to those who believe. Now, we Christians need to seek God's wisdom in today's world. We need to seek that which is right by being on our knees.
For listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. If you listen to us on Facebook or YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. You can always email us at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.